folks, it's Carrie from Pretty Neat. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here to my channel, welcome. I share videos here every week about organizing and decluttering your home and adopting a minimalist mindset, so I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button and stick around. Today's topic is the inventory in your home and why it's so important to have an idea of the stuff that you are keeping in storage. So I'm going to define inventory as anything that isn't visible and clearly obvious that it exists in your home right now. So basically anything that is in a closet or a drawer or a cabinet that you don't see on a day-to-day basis. Most of us keep some degree of inventory items in our home, these things that are tucked away in storage, because basically we don't want to be running to the store every single time we need one small thing. The Minimal Mom has a channel here on YouTube. I love her channel. She has really great videos for everyday people and especially for people with kids. So I'm going to link to her channel down below. But she has talked about this idea of inventory on her own channel, and I really like her perspective. She says that the inventory of stuff that you are keeping in storage all needs to be managed by you. And by managed, those things that you're keeping in inventory, first of all, you need to remember that you own them. You might need to store them in a specific way if it's something that is susceptible to moisture or to temperature changes. They might be things that you need to do some kind of maintenance on to make sure that they don't go bad. Some things that we keep in inventory might expire, and so we need to remember to use them up before their expiration date. Otherwise, we've just wasted our money on them. She talks about the inventory in your home as things that are going to require some of your mental energy. The more stuff you keep, the more of your mental energy has to be taken up remembering what you have, where it's stored, if it's going to expire, when you need to use it by, if it needs to be stored in a certain way. All of that stuff is kind of running in the background of our mind. And the more things you have, the more of your energy is going to be devoted to thinking about and managing your household inventory. I really like this approach because it gets at the hidden costs of our things. When we bring things home, we might have a decent amount of storage space to keep those things. And so we think, oh, well, it costs me nothing to keep this stuff in my home, but there actually are hidden costs to our things. And I think this issue of the mental energy that our things require of us is important to keep in mind. When I work one-on-one with clients in their homes, oftentimes the projects require us to assess their inventory. So for example, we might be cleaning out and organizing a linen closet or a kitchen pantry. And in those cases, I almost always recommend that we first take everything out and assess what is there. Whenever I do this with a client, or on the occasions that I do this myself, inevitably the person that I'm working with will say, oh, I completely forgot that I owned that. And it's because it's been tucked away in the back of a closet, in the back of the pantry, and they just haven't had the mental energy to remember that it exists. What I'm going to recommend in this video is on some sort of regular basis that you are checking in with your household inventory. So you are taking a look at those more hidden storage areas in your home, and you're reminding yourself that those things exist, because it's so easy to put something away in a place that it's not visible and then to just forget that it's even there. I have done this process myself pretty recently, and I have a video about it. I rearranged and organized my linen closet, and my first step was to take everything out. Now, I had felt like prior to doing this exercise, my linen closet wasn't in terrible shape. It was pretty well organized. I had a good sense of where everything was located, but there were those containers and bins that I hadn't checked out in a while. And when I took everything out and pulled everything out of those bins, I found all kinds of things that I had forgotten about, and I discovered a bunch of things that I really hadn't used or needed in such a long time. I ended up decluttering a whole pile of things, and it was a little bit surprising because, like I said, I didn't think the space was really that bad to begin with. One of the things I discovered when I cleaned out my linen closet was that I had about 10 of those little mini toothpaste bottles. I just thought to myself, what am I doing with these? What is the purpose they're serving? I have not traveled anywhere, certainly during the pandemic, and I don't do a lot of traveling normally anyway. So what do I need all these travel-sized toothpaste tubes for? What am I saving them for? And I decided I would just start using them up. And I have gotten through most of that stash. This has maybe saved me a little bit of money, and it basically, I just feel good about using up something that I have. One thing that I think is an advantage of checking in with your inventory is to make sure that you're using up the stuff that you already have before purchasing new things. Another way you can approach assessing the inventory in your home is to do it by category. And I did this a couple of years ago with all of my hair products. I pulled out everything that I owned and I set it out on my dining room table, and I was stunned at the huge amount of hair products that I had. So when I did that assessment of all of the hair products that I had, it was really a good reminder to myself about how much of that stuff I already had. And it was a good reminder to not buy anything new until I went through some of that stash. And I have really made an effort to use up those shampoos, I had like 5 different things of dry shampoo because, again, that's a product that I think is going to change my life. And it never does. Whenever I buy a new one, it works pretty much as well as the other 5 that I have at home. But I just continue to keep thinking I'm gonna find that one magical one. So I started going through that stuff and really making an effort to use up those things before buying more. And that has saved me money. And I just feel better knowing that I'm not being wasteful. So my challenge for you, if you are trying to declutter your home, is to set aside a little time this week to assess your inventory of either one specific area, maybe a closet or a cabinet or the pantry, or maybe you assess your inventory for a specific category of item. Maybe it's all of your clothing. Maybe you have not looked through all of that in a while. Maybe it's like me, certain hair care or skincare products. Maybe it's your books. Go through that one category or that one area of stuff and just see what you have. Pull it all out. If things are tucked away in containers or in deep shelving, pull those things out. Take a look at what you have and be honest with yourself. If there are things there that you haven't used in years and you're very unlikely to use them anytime soon, just part with them, either donate or trash them. If there are things that are still useful, challenge yourself to use them. If they are products that you can go through, like shampoos or soaps or skincare, try to use them up before you run out to the store and buy new. And I think, like me, ask yourself, if you're always on the hunt for those perfect products, ask yourself if what you have is good enough. So if you need a little bit of accountability for assessing your inventory this week, make a comment down below and let me know which space or which category of stuff you're going to look through this week and take a little assessment of what you own, what you're not going to use, and what you can maybe use up so that you're not tempted to buy more of that stuff. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please leave a like. It helps my channel out a lot. And don't forget to subscribe. I share videos here every week about organizing and decluttering and about adopting a minimalist mindset. Talk to you soon.